technique in translation that takes a word directly without changing the word from the CL source language. Borrowing is used to introduce the term of CL to TL, target language, as the culture introducing in translation. Borrowing is a technique that takes a word expression straight from another language. It can be copied, reproduced, translated, or changed in TL exactly as in CL. Calco. A calco is a special kind of borrowing where a language borrows an expression from of another, but then translate literally each of its elements. A lexical calco is a calco which respects the syntactic structure of the TL, with introducing a new mode of expression, or a structural calco which introduces a new contraction in the language.
Okay, next point, literal translation. Literal, or word-for-word translation, is the direct transfer of a source language text into grammatically and idiomatically appropriate target language text in which the translator text is limited to observing the adherence to the linguistic servitudes of the target language. So this technique translates word by word. It's translates literally and focuses on the form and structure. So you can see this is a example of literal translation. And the next point, transposition. Transposition involves replacing one word class with other without changes the meaning of the message. Besides being a special translation procedure, transposition can also be applied within a language. So this technique changes grammatical category in relation to the source language. So you can see this is example of transposition.
Okay, I will explain about modulation. Modulation is a variation of the form of the message obtained by a change in the point of view. This change can be justified when although a literal or even transposed translation results in a grammatical correct utterance, it is considered unsuitable, idiomatic, or awkward in the TL. This technique changes the point of view in the TL in order to focus on cognitive category in relation to CL. And next, I will explain about equivalence. We have repeatedly stressed that one and the same situation can be rendered by two texts using completely different stylistic and structural methods. I think that's all, and thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Yurendani. I will talk about adaptation and amplification. Adaptation is its use in those cases where the type of situation being referred to by the source language message is unknown in the target language culture. In such cases, translators have to create a new situation that can be considered as being equivalent. Adaptation can therefore be described as a special kind of equivalence, a situational equivalence. For example, source language, they are here in my four-dimensional pocket. Target language, mereka di dalam kantung ajaibku. In the example above, the translator used adaptation technique both in English or Indonesian in translating source language into target language. Kantung ajaib in target language is general terms. In the Doraemon movie series, that the term of for the pocket. Amplification. Amplification is a technique that conveys details that are not formulated or stated in source language. It can be either information or paraphrasing explicitly. It is same with addition or gain. It also can be called grammatical expansion for clarity of meaning. For example, source language good morning, you are early today. Target language, selamat pagi, kau datang hari ini, lebih awal. The example above use addition technique of italic word you are early today change into kau datang lebih awal hari ini. It translated early into datang lebih awal. If it is translated literally, it will be kamu lebih awal hari ini. Translator adds the word datang as verb in target language to aid information about certain present activity clearly.
Alright, so here I'll talk about the compensation. So compensation is one of the technique of translation. So this technique is a technique that introduce source language element of information or stylistic effect in another place in the target language because it cannot be reflected in the same place as in the source language, or in the simple way, compensation used when something cannot be translated or the meaning is lost expressed in the target language. So it may change the diction. You may see the example below on the source language and the target language. So in the source language, it says that I was so moved that I couldn't stop crying. But in the target language, the translated be aku sangat terharu oleh tangisan itu.
Any questions? Let's do it.
Any questions? Let's do it.